This episode of our show is about helping some cousins we humans have. The orangutans are endangered species and their habitat is shrinking by the day. Preserving diversity of animal life is crucial to ensure our environment sustainability, and it's time we do something about it. Thankfully, people at the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation are working to help in this situation. This foundation coordinates efforts to save the orangutans' environment and provide caring for these great apes in sanctuaries, feeding and preparing them to release them back into the wild. And guess what? NEM Group partners with the BOS Foundation to help in this crusade. Initially, this partnership provides the means to use NEM and SYMBOL in the near future to make donations directly to BOS Foundation, but it points to develop closer ties and ways to collaborate in the future. As the CEO of NEM Group, David Shaw posted in the NEM forum, partnership with BOS Germany is the perfect example of the company's commitment to bigger issues in the real world and focusing on the contribution, such as helping the BOS Foundation in Indonesia to provide a sustainable future for orangutans in the region. Today we're presenting Andrea Knox. Andrea is the director, the international director of communications of the BOS project. And she's going to be talking to us about more the specifics of how this beautiful project works. Andrea, welcome to the NEM Show.
Thank you for having me, Alexis. I'm really excited to be here and be able to talk to your community.
Now that's as excited we are, because we're really glad to be in the project and really glad to be involved in this initiative. But I think you're well better suited to explain to us what is the BOS Foundation.
Of course, it'd be my pleasure. So yeah, I work for the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation. We are an NGO. We have an international presence with partner organizations in several countries around the world, but our work is implemented here on the ground in Indonesia. You might take it from the name, mostly on the island of Borneo, where we fight for the future of orangutans as a critically endangered species, but it's a lot more than that. It's also about these precious ecosystems that are unique to Indonesia, to the island of Borneo. I can break our work up into four main pillars. What we're best known for is orangutan rehabilitation. This is what people might have seen in the media before, orangutans going to forest school, where we rescue them, caregivers teach them how to survive, and then one day they're released back into the forest. That's a very abridged version of it, where we hope for them to be the founding members of new populations. We also work in sanctuary care. There we have many unreleasable orangutans, unfortunately, and actually a large population of sun bears who will give lifelong care for, just trying to give them the best quality of life. We also work in ecosystem conservation, because without forests to go back to, there's no orangutan reintroduction. So we help protect populations and restore areas of degraded habitat. Then lastly, community development and education. This isn't an ecological issue, this isn't an animal issue, this is a human issue. So we need to be supporting communities on the ground who share these ecosystems with orangutans and other species. And those are the people we're really trying to work with and build a better future for all of us.
Well, and let's hopefully we'll dig into that. But tell me something. Conservation is really important. Okay, we're on the brink of the extinction of many species. Regarding the forest in Borneo, in Indonesia, and about the orangutans, is this a fight we can win? What do you say about that?
That's a hard question. I consider myself a realistic optimist. I wouldn't still be fighting if I thought there was no chance of winning it. Is it going to be an easy fight? No. Will we win every battle? No. But the reality is there's things that we can do now, there's things that we can do in the future, so we have to do them before it's too late. I don't think it's already too late, but it requires, extreme action in some cases. It requires us to do things that might be uncomfortable, it might be a little bit inconvenient, but we can give a better future to orangutans, and I promise you it's going to impact humans down the road. Everything's connected, whether or not we see it now.
Yes, we are, and we should all do our part about that. And speaking of parts, How this relationship between BOSF and the NEM group happened? How comes we ended up together in this initiative?
So I mentioned, yeah, we're trying to engage with local communities, but it's about more than that. We have international partners around the world, and they're important to be educating people in different cultures and different countries because we live in a globalized, interconnected world. And part of that isn't just about educating individual people, but it's about engaging with different sorts of stakeholders, different groups and initiatives that can bring a new solution to this problem, because these problems have many factors and drivers that make them incredibly complex, and there's no simple solution to it. So we need to be able to engage with people who can view the problem in a new light and maybe bring a novel solution we never thought of. So I can say, I think with a certain degree of confidence, we've never worked with a organization or partner like NEM before. So hopefully this can be a groundbreaking new way to move forward in a direction we hadn't employed.
We hope we're not going to be the last one, a big organization endorsing this project. Now, for the specifics, how can I do to help BOS project? I mean, I have to tell that to our NEM community, but how can they get involved? How can they donate? How can they adopt an orangutan? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. Yeah, so you mentioned the donating and adopting. That's always the easy option, an option we love. As a nonprofit organization, we rely on support and donations of individual people. Someone might think, oh, it's just $5 here, $10 there, but that adds up when there's hundreds of thousands of people doing that. If you want to learn more about BOS and NEM and how to donate, you can go to orangutan.de/BOS-and-NEM for more information on financially supporting us. But I always like to say, even if you aren't in a position where you can donate, you still can support the cause. Education is very, very important. So tell your friends and family, just make them aware of the issues, because the amount of times I get people who don't even know where orangutans live or even what orangutans are. Is surprising to me. I'm going to be biased. I've been working with orangutans and studying them for over a decade, but still. So education is really important, because then once people have that knowledge, they can make changes, and you can make changes too. I always say living a generally greener lifestyle matters. Being aware of where you shop and what you buy matters. It's corny, but it's true. Your dollar is a vote. Everything you purchase is a vote. When you buy something, you're saying you support this product, this company, and where it's sourced from. So be aware of, the big hot button topic is always palm oil. Check that the palm oil you use is from a sustainable source, that it's certified. You don't need to boycott everything you love in life. No, it's not about that. It's about finding what changes you can make so that your life is more compatible with a better future for orangutans, a healthier future for our environment. So that's what I'd say you can do. You can always learn more too.
No, let's thank Andrea Knox of the BOS Foundation for her visit here to the NEM show, and it's a good time for me to remind you to visit all of our social media, where you can send us your questions, or who do you want to be on the show, and of course to get to know more about what's happening in the NEM ecosystem. Well, Andrea, thank you so very much for coming to our show. If you have some final thoughts you wanted to share with our NEM community, the camera is yours.
Thank you for having me, Alexis. Thank you for having me, NEM community, and tuning in to listen. Really, really matters that you guys are interested in that. Even watching this video just matters. I know most of you probably aren't in Indonesia, and this issue feels far away, but nothing is these days, as you know, with global climate change. We're all feeling the impacts in one way or another. And these ecosystems and these communities are an important part of that. And see, in seasons of large forest fires here in Indonesia, the carbon emissions from Indonesia will exceed that of many, many other nations on Earth, even some of the ones that are the biggest emitters and the most developed that you can think of. So it just comes back to we're all connected, and anything you can do matters. So thank you. That's the last thing I'd like to say. Thank you for your efforts, and thank you for joining us.
No, and of course, you can count on my donation, and we'll speak about that in a future upcoming show about this.
Thank you.
Okay, because it's not going to be the last time we're going to be hearing about the BOS Foundation, and who knows, maybe someone of our community wanted to share their stories with the BOS Foundation. Okay, thank you,
Love to
Andrea.
hear them.
Again, my name is Alexis Trujillo. See you next time with more of the NEM ecosystem on the NEM Show. See you soon.
Thank you.